I guess that old English phrase, like father, like son, isn't always true.
What was that?
He's late.
He'll be here.
Yeah, so he'll be here late. Mr. Crawford.
Aiden, please. You call me by my last name and I start looking over my shoulder for my father.
Very well. Aiden, I'm Mission Specialist Joseph Sharp. This is my colleague, Payload Commander Rob McGrady. I see you got our call.
You call me from a dead man's telephone.
Yeah, we saved that number for emergencies such as this. Aiden, we both knew your father, which is to say we worked under him. He was a great scientist and a hell of a pilot, if I might say so myself. When he left, he entrusted us with continuing his life's work.
And what was that exactly?
Space exploration and the development of research beyond this planet.
Okay.
Do you recognize either of these cases?
Yeah, that's my father's stuff.
Go ahead and open it up. Have you seen this device before? drawings or sketches or any literature?
No.
It's good. Have any idea what it is?
I have no idea.
It's called a neuroinhibitor. It works inside the subconscious mind, much like when you're dreaming.
Your father created this before he left.
He left. He kept using those words like he went to go get the morning paper and a pack of marbles. And just what? Got lost on his way home? Took the wrong bus? I mean,
I'm not sure what you're asking. What's your point?
my point is that he didn't leave anyone. He's dead.
Aiden, even if that were true, the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's unlikely that anyone knows.
You know, you fellas, you talk about Will Crawford, my father, like you knew him better than me. And you know what? Maybe you did. I mean, he spent more time in his office than he did at home. He missed more birthday parties and Christmas mornings than I can even remember. So yeah, maybe he was absent from my life. But to say he's not dead?
We aren't saying your father's dead because he helped us finish his research 6 years after he went missing.
What'd you say?
Aiden, the neuroinhibitor was his idea. However, he couldn't harness the technology he needed completed here on this planet.
This technology is alien.
Oh, back up. You're saying he's still alive?
We don't know for sure.
There's a funeral. My mother, we watched him lower the casket into the ground. I mean...
Yeah, there were certain contingencies that he requested.
Contingencies.
A closed casket. At the time, your father wasn't 100% sure he would be able to return home, so he had the agency go through the motions of his death. It was beyond classified, even to you and your mother.
Why?
So his family wouldn't worry about him while he was gone.
Gone. Gone where?
Aiden, you might want to take a seat for this next part. Your father's first legitimate trip into space was to Mars. Now, I know you're probably thinking a human being has never set foot on the Red Planet, but that's not true. The space program was set up to operate in secret back then. We were worried that if news of our ability to reach Mars fell into the hands of the rest of the world, we'd suddenly find ourselves in a monetary race to see which nation could reach the furthest, the fastest. Your father's mentor and co-pilot was named Susan Ramirez. She accompanied him on this mission. The two pilots had trained together in Houston before you were born. If it wasn't the soil, it was the atmosphere. While it would have been convenient, Mars turned out not to be a viable option for the program. It was concluded that human life would never thrive on the Red Planet. Ramirez refused to go home, and when your father's guilt of leaving you and your mother behind set in, he agreed to journey back. This time alone, while she continued her research. Ramirez did all she could to find a way to make Mars the solution to Earth's growing population problem. In the end, she ran out of supplies, and more importantly, she ran out of time. Ramirez's body was never recovered, and your father began working on a safer way to travel through space, the neuroinhibitor. After we lost communication with her, we thought about sending a team up there to retrieve Ramirez's body. But she had no family here at home, so that wasn't a very cost-effective option.
So, Aiden, what would you like to talk about today? Last week it was raccoons upstairs keeping you awake.
I called an exterminator. They must have trapped him. Sounds of night have stopped.
That's good.
Turns out my dad isn't dead. Who knew?
He was a pilot, your father?
Pilot. Astronaut, stargazer.
So, when you say, turns out my father isn't dead, are we speaking metaphorically? Literally?
It means we buried an empty casket.
How does that make you feel?
There was this one night. I came home late, and there's nothing unusual about that. But he had this look on his face. And it was strange because he'd come home and look tired, you know, just after a long day type of thing. But on this night, his face was different. I was sitting on the floor Indian style watching cartoons and in my underoos, and I remember his face as he sunk down into the couch. He'd never done that before. My mom got up and left the room, and it was just he and I. In the soft glow of the black and white. Said nothing. Just the two of us. That was the last time I remember seeing him.
Sounds like a happy memory. What was it about your father's face that sticks with you?
I don't know. It was like he was hiding something, you know? Something good, though. Like a secret. Like he had heard something and he wanted you to know. But not yet.
Do you think he was hiding secrets from you?
That's all he ever was. A secret. That night rounded the old man out for me.
Where's your father now, Aiden?
We don't know. We lost contact with him 3 weeks ago.
Where was he 3 weeks ago? He named the planet NB-22. It's on the far outer rim of Andromeda.
Andromeda? So you're telling me that my father invented some kind of space travel that allowed him to go, what, 26 million light years away?
That's exactly what we're telling you.
So that explains where he was all this time.
Not exactly. He never actually left this building.
Aiden, the neuroinhibitor was the technology that allowed your father to leave and come back whenever he wanted without ever stepping outside these four walls.
But you said it yourself, his death was a sham.
In the physical sense, yes, that's true. However, your father lived on, just not on this planet. He's alive inside the neuroinhibitor.
Okay. Where's the body? I want to see his body.
We had to make the difficult decision to get rid of the body. There was significant decay.
How does it work?
Where do I begin? The mind. It's as fast, if not faster, than the speed of light. Take this table, for instance. Now, you know what this table feels like without ever touching it or running your hand across it. Why is that?
Muscle memory.
For hundreds of years, scientists have tried to understand the human brain, known as the most complex organ in the entire universe. Your father was obsessed with this idea that the brain was also in control of the way you experience the world around you. Imagine that you're walking in a forest. Light from the sun's beams bounce off the leaves, the branches, and the bark of all the trees. That enters your open eyes. The chirping sounds of the birds flying overhead, those sounds reach your ears. As you walk along, the smell of the forest soil wafts into your nose. Now, the nerve cells of your eyes, ears, and nose detect these sensations and send signals to different parts of your brain, which then turn them into what you see, hear, and smell, all in a matter of milliseconds.
It's called sense of self.
Your father used this idea and harnessed it inside the neuroinhibitor. He made it possible to experience the far reaches of outer space without ever really going there.
So it isn't real.
This NB-22.
Aiden, it's as real as you want it to be. The experience is programmed in such great detail that the average human brain cannot detect a difference.
So he spent decades doing what? Exploring some place that wasn't even real?
No, he made it real. He built colonies, ran experiments. He was even in contact with higher species while there.
And now he's stuck inside that machine.
Yes. And he documented all of it with this neuroinhibitor.
So why tell me this? Why now?
The Earth is dying. Overpopulation, dwindling food supply, and can't keep up with climate change and inadequate infrastructure. I could go on. And that's not even the classified stuff. Quite frankly, your father knew that even though the human race was born here, it was never meant to die on this planet.
The planet's messed up. We've known this for years.
Your father was searching for a new home.
For who?
For all of us. Aiden, something happened 3 weeks ago. And, attack of some kind, we're not sure. But something caused all of our communication with your father to just stop.
Attack?
Your father found soil on NB-22. He called it the building blocks of our new home. He was able to grow plant life there. And we think some species thought this was a threat and took matters into their own hands.
Species?
Other non-human life forms.
You're talking about like aliens.
Aiden, your father made it possible for 12 other individuals to use the neuroinhibitor. Each of them were given a prodigy chip, which was fused to their cerebral cortex. Now, this chip, it's a brain booster that allowed the user to harness more subconscious brain function than the average human could. Each of them were left with a small surgical scar at the base of the neck. Think of it as the ability to stay in a dream for as long as you like, without ever having the need of waking up. Aiden, you don't remember the accident, do you?
It was a Saturday. He always worked on Saturdays, but he happened to be home.
You were 7 years old. Your father used your surgery as the perfect opportunity to equip you with your own prodigy chip.
Why would he do that?
In case he needed you to follow him to NB-22.
Wait, so why not just send one of the other 11 in after him?
We did that.
None of the other 11 have been able to return. We sent each of them back different moments just prior to the attack in hopes of finding out what happened to your father's work. Yet none of them survived.
Survived? You mean like physically or? Wait, so what happens if you die inside the neuroinhibitor? People are dying?
That's why we called you. You are our last hope in reaching NB-22 and finding out what happened to your father.
We also need to know if that planet is capable of hosting life as we know it here on Earth.
You're lying to their families.
That's what your father would have wanted.
Well, I'm not a scientist. I'm not my father.
You are your father's son, and the last person on this Earth that he trusted.
Don't sit on your hands here.
You can't expect me to believe all this.
You have the night to decide. If you choose not to go, your father will be lost forever, and all humanity will die on Earth painfully. Those are the only two things I need you to believe in as you make your decision.
Aiden, you've been coming here for 3 years. You refuse to take any medication. You speak in surly undertones. Last week was the first time you have ever spoken with any specific detail about your own father.
That isn't true. I told you he's a pilot.
And we swept him under the rug like dust.
What's your point?
Why are you here? What do you get out of all of this?
Have you ever had to make a decision based off of faith?
Sure.
No, I mean blind faith. Literally. Something deep down you know was so impossible. No one in their right mind would agree to it.
Are you saying you're not in your right mind?
I have to go.
I should tell you, I have a moral and ethical obligation to call the authorities if you're telling me that you might be a harm to yourself or to others.
Great. Oh, and I take the pills, just so you know.
We're working on it.
Well, working on it doesn't cut it. Last time we spoke, you mentioned this being our last option.
It is. It's quite a bit to consider. However, we planted the seed. Aiden isn't his father. See, William was a pioneer, very forward-thinking. The kind of mind that seems to have skipped over this generation. I still think the kid will come through, though. I think the idea of following in his father's footsteps moves him. I can see that look in his eyes, that look of wonder. His father had that same look in his eyes when he started this program.
Good. Speaking of William, any luck with the last transmission?
Actually, yes. Grady was able to ping the last location we believe is his whereabouts. I'm gonna send you that file now so you can take a look. Let me know when you get it. We had to clean up the image quite a bit. The atmosphere is so unstable that far out that there was considerable damage to the lens. It should be clear enough for you.
What are we looking at?
This is still the Andromeda system. However, it's further out than we can see. The final distress signal that Williams sent out originates here. It's the best we got right now. All right, now see the planet on your left? That's the dark side of MB22. That's the location we're guessing the signal originated from. Now, as you know, Aiden is the only hope we have of getting our eyes up there to take a look. Robotics can't build another Prodigy chip without William, so here we are.
Interesting. Is there anyone in there with you?
No, ma'am.
Our friends across the pond sent me something you should take a look at.
Just got it.
We were able to have the Russians translate what they could in binary.
Interesting. I've seen this code once before. Never a message this complex, though. My guess would be they intended us to receive it. Sounds like a threat.
Could be. Tread carefully and get the kid on board.
Yes, ma'am. Look at that. He's late again.
You think he's gonna show?
It's hard to tell.
Would you do it?
Hell no. How could anyone believe half the things we've said?
Chance to see his father, it'd be crazy not to. But I can't help feel we've manipulated the situation.
I guess it all depends on the extent of their own mutual sense of self.
Meaning?
Relationship with the father.
You think fascination is not enough?
Fascination is fickle. Feelings. Feelings are unconditional.
Okay. Show me how it works.
You got it. All right, so when you're there, you should see clear skies. Got it. There, that's the landing zone. It's a way of knowing you're in.
I'm here.
Okay, now it's important to note that your breathing is key. Deeper breaths can cause the neuroinhibitor to shut down and wake you out of the simulation.
Stay calm. Got it.
Now this ship is called the Monet. It was built by your father.
There's gravity here?
Because your father built this place, he created the rules.
Oh, wow. Is this it?
That's in B-22.
No wonder he spent so much time up here.
Now this is the airlock. You'll notice there's no gravity in here. Again, this was designed by your father.
Zero gravity, right?
That's right. You'll get used to it. Bringing you out now.
Out? Wait, no. Whoa, what happened? No.
Baby steps. Go on, take the water.
Put me back in.
Aiden, you need time to adjust.
Well, according to you guys, time is something that we don't have a ton of. So,
Let's try something different. Put him in the white suit.
what's the white suit?
Oh, what's happening? Why am I shooting?
Because he's shooting at you. This will make sense to you later. Self-defense is going to be key in space. Everything up there is foreign to you. All right, so let's try the space jump.
Space jump? Are you sure about this? Wait!
Remember what I said, you need to breathe. You aren't going to die in the space jump program, okay? So just relax. All right, let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about planets. This planet is called Cerberus. Your father named it after the three-headed Greek demon because from a distance, the planet gave off an amber glow.
But it's all ice.
Nothing in deep space is what it seems.
This place seems livable.
The air is laced with lethal amounts of radon. 10 seconds without a helmet, and you'd be dead. I'm gonna give you some time to take all this in. There's nothing quite like it. All right, so let's talk about how looks can be deceiving up here. But you see that there? The planet looks like Earth.
Flowers. What's wrong with this one?
Those pretty little flowers, they're covered in bactericides. One sniff and you'd be dead in seconds. Your father preached to us the importance of knowing your surroundings on new planets. Things we take for granted down here and up there can kill you in a blink of an eye. Let's get you back.
Someone want to tell me what's going on?
All right, so this is the escalator your father took each morning when he comes to work. He built one inside the neuroinhibitor. If the sky was his way of knowing he was in, this was his way of knowing he was out. These little nuances kept him from staying inside for too long. Hang on.
What was all that? You guys are messing with me.
Deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take it easy.
No, forget all that. What just happened?
Those were programs created by your father to prep you for the real NB-22. All right? Remember, these places were created by your father's raw subconscious. They don't have to obey the laws of physics or make sense for that matter.
Sorry.
Perfectly normal. Now, Aiden, remember, next time you go in, it's gonna be for real.
More real than that?
It's like an onion. There are layers you peel back.
Who's hungry? So the next step is to get you on N22B. We'll put you in about an hour before the attack. That way you can get a look around and not actually interact with the projections.
What's a projection?
The 11 men and women we sent in after your father.
Can they see me?
No.
But I can see them.
That's right.
So what happens if we bump into each other or something?
You can't. Remember, they're not actually there. They're dead.
Yeah, but I mean, what happens if I run into one?
You won't. They'll appear to be working or doing whatever it is that they were doing prior to the attack. Think of them as memories saved to the CPU of the neuroinhibitor. Only ghosts at this point. You're not eating?
How is he able to keep this all a secret?
The department knew. Father even briefed the president once.
The president.
The Oval Office? Well, the NSA chair and a couple of cabinet members.
And they just ignored him? Did they even take a look?
$20 million apiece. The military didn't consider your father's work, what was that word they used?
Equitable? Yeah, 7 billion people on the planet.
Each needing their own neuroinhibitor. And during an election year, you can do the math.
The entire department was reduced to just your father and the two of us. And then there were budget cuts. And after that, it's just us believers.
But he was allowed to keep working.
Of course. Your father was very persuasive when he wanted to be. Neat guy.
Once you go in, there is nothing else like it.
Start the day with a song and sing the whole day through. Even while you're busy working, do just like the birdies do. Though the day may be long, you never will go wrong. Off-key, on-key, any old key, just start the day with a song.
So are you still taking the medication? Do you want to talk about trying something new?
Do you think there are too many people on Earth?
Meaning what?
Overpopulation. Do you remember that virus? Do you think that was Mother Nature's way of balancing the equation?
Some say the COVID virus was man-made.
So?
That means that what you're saying would qualify as genocide.
I met someone who showed me a file this thick. Decades of research on how the Earth is going to run out of food and run out of room. It's like an equation. X minus Y equals Z.
Okay. I'm confused. So if X represents people and Y represents food, what does Z represent?
My father solved the equation.
The night we spoke about? With the television show and your pajamas and the look on your father's face? Was that what the secret was? Him solving the equation?
This planet, this room, all the stuff that's around you that you take for granted. The way that you know how the cushion of the chair you're sitting in feels like. It's all going to come to an end. Life as we know it will look completely different.
You sound like you've seen some other world that is a better fit for us.
The neuroinhibitor. Do you know if my father stored anything on there besides what he saw up there?
Sure.
Like what?
Anything he wanted to preserve, really.
Memories?
Memories.
I want to go back in, but to another time.
Okay. Where do you want to go?
After the surgery, but before he left.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I just can't, okay? I don't have the authority to do that.
Well, whose authority do you need?
Sharp, for starters.
Sharp will never know. McGrady, look. Do you want to know what happened to my father? I can find out, but you have to let me do it my way.
How do you even know he's going to be in there, in the memory?
I don't. But I'm taking a leap.
Even while you're busy working, you just like the birdies do. Though the day may be long, you never will go wrong. Funky, funky, any old key, just start the day with a song.
Hello, son. You don't have to be afraid. I know what's happening now isn't real, but I cherished this moment as much as you did.
He didn't say anything to me.
I didn't think I needed to. I'm sure you have questions.
Questions? Yeah, I got questions. Let's start with you telling where you went. I mean, what happened to you?
Oh, the things I've seen. Technology we could only dream of. Weapons the human mind would never be capable of building, not in 1 trillion lifetimes. Beings so complicated, so complex, we will never fully understand the way they think. Violence. That was the only universal language I found. So I kept searching for a new home.
What about me? What about Mom? You weren't even here to see her before she died. You didn't care that she left us?
Of course I cared. But as with all great feats, sacrifices had to be made to serve the greater good.
The greater good? We were supposed to be the greater good!
Everything I did was with you in mind. Don't you see? This place, this memory you hold so dear, it only exists because for a moment, as brief as it may have been, you understood that my absence was only for the safety of your future.
But I'm not safe, Dad. I'm not. I try to drown myself every night. I take pills. I see a shrink twice a week. What you were doing, it didn't work. Can't you see?
It will work. You're gonna help me make them see.
Who?
Everyone that doubted me. Everyone that said it wasn't possible. I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
I'll make it up to you. All of it. As my search for Earth's future grew more futile, I created new protection for myself. New weaponry using alien technology I picked up along the way. I built ships. I kept tabs on our enemies as my footprint grew larger. I did my best to cover my tracks, but the universe is so vast and time moves so slow, it was inevitable they'd find me.
Enemies?
The human race has made quite a few, not knowing it along the way. We've lived as if no one is there watching. There is. See, the fifth dimension exists. We have no way of seeing it here on Earth. But up there, time is a puddle that you can jump in and out of. Age is a button in an elevator that you can just press and relive as if it never happened before.
Who followed you to MB-22?
A species more advanced than you could even imagine.
They caught wind of your research and what? It pissed them off?
You could say that. They saw humans as lesser creatures. Since NB-22 is located in Andromeda, their own galaxy, they didn't want us coming in droves to destroy one of their planets the way we'd done on Earth.
So, what happened? They attacked and... Where did you go?
I can't tell you that, son.
What? Why not? Why can't you tell me that? Answer me. Tell me where you are. Whoa, what happened? I was nearly there.
This was a bad idea. I never should have agreed to this.
Why not?
You need to leave.
He wasn't gonna tell me, was he?
I'm sorry. You should go.
Just tell me why he won't do it.
After he disappeared, your father deprogrammed his locator. No one can track him now. He didn't want you to know because he thought you might go in and try to find him.
Isn't that what we're doing?
The greater good here is figuring out if we can harvest life on MB-22. That was his mission. That's your mission now. Finding your father is icing on the cake. And you need to be here in the morning. Go home. And don't tell Sharp about this.
I don't think I'll come back here again.
That's disappointing. We were making such progress.
Where are we?
The discussion regarding your father?
Progress. All of this? About our triggers and feelings and mental wellness? That's fortune cookie wisdom. It's just a bunch of words that people read about online and made popular by posting artwork behind them.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're wrong. I've spent my entire life studying the human psyche, and there are ways to break through.
You have no idea what the human mind is capable of, what it can do, what it can create. These problems that people like me sit in this chair and complain to you about, they mean nothing. They're figments of our imagination.
I respectfully disagree.
Oh, because if I'm right, you are out of a job.
No, I want to see people do better.
If we use our minds to create good things instead of wanting, it's the wanting that drives us crazy.
What does that word mean to you? Crazy.
It means people like you sitting in that chair wanting people to get better will never happen. People don't want to get better. They want everyone else to change around them.
Pretty cynical.
I'll take my chances out there.
Aiden, I wish you change your mind, but good luck to you.
Vitals are good. Just steady your breathing. All right, keep the control centered and McGrady will do the rest. All right, we're piloting you down now. All right, Aiden, watch your entry. It can be a bit bumpy if it's windy down there. All right, we're initiating landing sequence now. That's right. Just like that, keep her centered. You're doing great, Aiden. Just keep her steady.
All right, I see the colony from here.
Now you should be able to see the projections as well.
I see them. You're sure they can't see me?
They're just projections. You're not even there at the same time. You should see them working on a rover of some type.
I see it.
Okay, just behind the rover is the outpost. We need you to get over there as soon as you can.
Got it.
All right, Aiden. You have to keep an eye out at all times. Whoever planned the attack could be anywhere at any time. Now, that's your father's living quarters. Looks like the structure is still intact, which means our timing is good. The attack hasn't happened yet. All right, so there's a projection coming up beside you. Now, watch as they move about as if you're not even there. You see that? All right, look for the greenhouse structures. They'd look like clear tubes about 10 feet tall. There should be a few of them on the surface.
I see it. He did it. My old man figured it out.
Aiden, are you saying that everything is contained?
Yes. Sending visuals now.
Terrific. Now let's get you out of there before the attack.
You know what, Sharp? It doesn't look like there's anyone else here but us.
Well, that's the point. Don't assume anything. Scanning now. That's strange. Sensors are bouncing on and offline. Aiden, something must be interfering with the frequencies.
Oh, look! Oh, look out! Hey, guys! Watch out! Sharp! They're coming from the hills!
Aiden, they can't hear you. Do you copy?
His readings are off the chart. If we don't pull him out right now, we're gonna lose him.
I saw them.
You saw who?
They came from the hills. They were hiding, an entire army of them. The projections had no way of being warned. You should have left me in.
No, we had to take you out prior to the attack so we didn't lose you like we did the others.
I can go back in. I can try to save them.
You can't.
No way.
We can warn them if we figure out a way to let me interact with them.
It's impossible, Aiden.
Why? No. Tell me why. 3 days ago, space travel was impossible. Look at what we're doing here. Tell me why we can't warn them.
Because they aren't alive anymore, Aiden. They're just memories, remember? Ghosts saved to the CPU.
Well, then we go back and try to save them.
Now that we know that the colony was stabilized prior to the attack, there's no need to go back in at all.
So those people, my father, they died for nothing?
No! They gave us all the information that we needed. All we needed to confirm was that indeed your father was able to sustain life on that planet, and he did it. He did it.
But we have no way of getting anyone there. Whoever destroyed the colony isn't going to allow just 7 billion people to just migrate onto their planet.
Their planet.
Andromeda is their galaxy.
Well, the sun is in our galaxy, but that doesn't make it ours.
They're not going to let us come back, Sharp. They'll attack again, and they'll keep attacking until we leave MB-22 alone forever.
What have you done? Either of you two can answer.
I went in and I spoke to my father.
You what? And who gave you the authority to do that?
I told him it was a bad idea. He shouldn't have done it.
He warned me that even though he colonized MB-22, these beings never wanted us there in the first place. There has to be another planet.
Well, there isn't. And don't you think if there was, your father would have told us about it? And you just allowed this to happen.
I did this on my own. He had nothing to do with it. Either way, we only have two options here, guys. We find another planet to colonize, or you send me back in and let me try to save NB-22. What's it gonna be, Sharp? Huh? We can do this. We can find another way and find my father in the process.
Persuasive when he wants to be. All right, let's put him back in.
Okay, you're there. I'm only giving you one shot at this, so make it stick if you want to make it off that planet alive. As soon as I see danger, I'm pulling you out. Do you copy? Aiden!
There has to be a way I can warn them.
There isn't. Aiden, if you get killed in there, I can't get you out. Do you understand what I'm telling you? In order to save the planet and yourself, you need to make it out in one piece. You see anything? Anything at all? Wait a minute, we're seeing something on our end. Movement, and it's a lot of it, and it's moving fast. Aiden, do you copy?
It's happening!
We're under attack! Aiden, get the hell out of there now! Do it!
There's so many of them, there's no way out!
Aiden! We're losing communication. Aiden, can you hear me? Aiden, this is hopeless. If you can hear me, find cover now! Brady, something is blocking our transmission. It must be location beacons or something. Maybe they're crashing. Aiden, can you see the comms tower? Aiden, the comms tower. We're losing you. Aiden! Brady, something is blocking our transmissions. The location beacons are crashing. Aiden, listen, can you see any of the comms towers? McGrady, he is surrounded. Aiden, I'm looking at your vitals right now. You have to watch your breathing. Aiden, you got two choices. If you can hear me, you have to find cover or get out of there. Aiden, if you can hear me, you must survive this attack or I will not be able to bring you out alive. Aiden, do you copy? Aiden!
What is that? He's peeking again. I can't pull him out. What should we do? Should we call someone?
Hold on. McGrady. We need to call the director. Go on. Do it! Ma'am,
What do we have in place for this?
the same protocol we had for his father.
You have my go-ahead on that. Keep it quiet, and I want you and Robert in my office first thing on Monday morning.
Ma'am,
We have to make a decision on how to move on from this.
ma'am, if I may. Perhaps that wall is there for a reason.
Meaning,
What if William didn't put that wall there to keep something or someone out? What if he put it there for us to try to climb over? Ma'am,
go on.
once Aiden's neuroinhibitor went offline, I received a beacon signal on a private server even McGrady doesn't have access to.
What kind of signal?
Apparently, one of the projections survived the attack on NB-22. The beacon signal that we couldn't decipher. However, the internal log shows that someone made it off that planet, and they made it off alive.
Do we know who?
That I don't know. Be that as it may, I need to know how you want me to proceed.
Bury it. And I'll see you first thing Monday morning.
Destroy it. Files, hard drives, all of it. Anything that links the program to Will Crawford or the other 11. Including Aiden.
But we don't know that Aiden is dead.
We don't know that he isn't. And in the eyes of the program, that's more important than knowing for sure. Now, this isn't a discussion. Just do it.
And this.
Yeah, keep it somewhere safe. I'm gonna go home for once and try to get some sleep.
Sleep sounds impossible at a time like this.
Well, try. All right, because it's gonna get real busy around here. Or it's gonna get very slow. Take the time while you have it.
I'll see you Monday.
Maybe.
McGrady, tell Sharp he was wrong. There is another chance for mankind. My father and I found it. Together. That's right. My father survived the attack on NB-22 and escaped unnoticed. He programmed the neuroinhibitor with the same escape plan for me. The projections too. At the moment of death, we were remade. This new home is incredible. Full of life, space, time. My only hope is that you can pass this message along. If the powers that be deem the human race worth saving, there is finally a way. Convince them to come. All of them. We'll be here, waiting on the rest of you.
Sharp!